so many people have this limiting belief that I can't get into real estate because I don't have any money. Hey guys, what's going on? Hayden Crabtree here. I've got a special video for you today. We're gonna talk about another strategy you can use to buy real estate even if you don't have any money whatsoever. And I have some examples of what we're gonna be talking about here. Let's dive in. All right guys, so you know me, I'm the author of this best-selling real estate book. We talk about buy and hold real estate, specifically commercial real estate, and so many people want to get into real estate because of the cash flow, because of the tax benefits, because of all the money that you can make as the property appreciates. But so many people have this limiting belief that I can't get into real estate because I don't have any money. Well, let me tell you a really quick story. I've got a good buddy of mine. His name is Hunter. He does a lot of fix and flip properties. He does some Airbnb investing, and he's getting into commercial investing. And whenever he first got started out of college, he was doing a lot of fix and flips. He was using his own money at first that he had saved up. And then he got to where he needed some money. He went to some friends, he went to some family and said, hey, I had this great deal, I need some money. And eventually the word spread. His friends, they all started investing money. And I like to meet up with Hunter about once a month. We get together, we try and have lunch. I ask him how his business going. He's asking me about mine. And one time he was kind of upset. He said, man, my projects are so good. I'm making a lot of money off of it. And I didn't kind of get like why he was upset. I go, well, what's the problem if all your projects are doing really good? And he said, you know, all my investors, you know, I go find the deal, I do the hard work, I manage the deal, I flip it, I do everything, and all they have to do is I present them with the deal and they write the check and they're getting half of the profits. But all they had to do was have the money and write the check. And he told me, he said, yeah, but my mentor, because he had hired his own personal mentor, he said, but my mentor's got an idea of what we're gonna do. And he said, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna start buying this real estate. Instead of going to my investors and splitting the profits, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna put it all on credit cards. And so that's what the topic of today's video is about. How do you use these to go out and actually buy real estate? This is one of my favorite cards right here. I can buy $75,000 worth of stuff on this one card, okay? We're talking about how to get your limits increased, how to actually go out there and do this in a smart way. So the disclaimer to this video, guys, is I have a lot of credit cards. I buy everything in my life on credit cards. Everything that I can possibly buy, I put on credit cards. Everything I put on credit cards, but I pay off every single dollar that I spend on credit cards within 1 month. And that's the lesson, you know, kind of the ground rules to this whole approach is that if you guys are gonna do this, you have to make me a promise that you're not gonna buy stupid stuff with credit cards that you don't have the money to pay off. Okay, so we're talking about buying real estate. I wouldn't classify real estate as stupid stuff. I would classify real estate as smart stuff. Just because I'm gonna talk to you about how to go out and get these credit cards open and allow yourself that ability doesn't mean that I'm giving you the pass to go buy a brand new TV, an iPhone, and some Gucci on it, okay? Don't do that, that's stupid. Okay, I've never bought anything that I personally cannot afford on a credit card just because I could. I have over $200,000 worth of credit card availability and I spend exactly $0 over what I could spend every month, and I want that to be true for you too, okay? The first thing we'll start with is we have a property here, and this could be anything. It could be a rental house, it could be a commercial property, it could be a piece of land, doesn't really matter. This house right here, my beautiful drawing is gonna represent this property. And let's say this property is $100,000, okay? Now, if we have a property for $100,000, then generally speaking, we're gonna be able to go out and we're gonna get a loan for $80,000 or 80%, and this scales, right? So if it was a $200,000 house, we'd go get 80% of that, that'd be $160,000. $1 million property, we'll go out and we get $800,000, we need to bring $200,000. It scales up, that's LTV. This is an 80% LTV, loan to value. So the other $20,000 is the money that we have to bring to the table. This is money that comes from the bank, right? And so this money right here, this $20,000, now you might be saying, well, I found a great deal, but I don't have $20,000 to put into it. Well, that's where you can bring your good friend Amex into the picture, and you can literally put your down payment on a credit card. Now, let's go over a couple of quick parameters. If you put money on a credit card, it is going to increase what we call your credit utilization. So let's say if you had a credit card, and you only had one credit card, and you had a $10,000 available balance on that credit card, and you went out and you spent $5,000 on that credit card and you didn't pay it off, you would have a 50% utilization. Now, the general rule of thumb is you don't want your utilization to go above 30%. Okay, whenever it goes above 30%, that starts to get bad for you. Okay, it starts to reflect negatively on your credit score. You want to keep it under 30% at all times. Now, the one way you can get around that is kind of what I've done here. Is this card is a business card. It is not a personal card. Some brands out there will report your business cards to your personal credit score, okay? So we have to look at it like this. We have a person, which is you, and then you have another person, which isn't. It's really a business, okay? But in the eyes of a credit company, your personal score and your business score are different things. Now, at some point, your business may be reported to your personal credit, or it may not. Amex does not report your business credit to your personal, but I think that others do, okay? I'm not sure of all the other ones, but I know that some of the other ones do, and that's why I exclusively go with business. Okay, so how do you get business credit cards? Well, first of all, you have to have a business, okay? So you can do this in my state, in Georgia. There's a website called eCorp, and so it stands for, I don't know, some government corporation thing. That's where you go in and you can create an entity, and I'm sure you have the same thing in your state. Just Google how to create a business in your state. If you're gonna get your paperwork and your business is gonna be incorporated, after your business is incorporated, you wanna take that and you wanna go to irs.gov and you can apply for an EIN. An EIN is just like a social security number for your person. People have social security numbers, businesses have EIN. It's an employer identification number, I think is what it stands for. So you got to get an EIN. Once you have an EIN, you can go open bank accounts and you can get credit cards, okay? So after you've started a business, after you've gotten your EIN, which is free and takes just a couple minutes from irs.gov, then you can go to Amex and you can apply for a business credit card. Now, let's talk about the kind of parameters, right? Because the downside of any credit card is they have really high interest rates, and you don't want to pay really high interest rates. If we go out and we borrow $100,000 on a credit card, and we're paying 25% interest, that's 25 grand a year in interest payments, which means we have to earn at least a 25% cash on cash just to break even on our interest payments. So we don't want to do that. But business credit cards, all credit cards have promotions, okay? And so if you've ever seen this promotion, it's like sign up for our credit card and you can get 0% interest for 12 months, 18 months, 24 months. Those are the kind of cards that you want to go after. What that allows you to do is it allows you to spend all this other money, this credit card money, that's not your money, and you can go invest it and you don't have to make interest payments as long as you pay that money off in the promotional period, okay? And so kind of the key here is that you have to find a real estate project that you can increase in value. It's called value add, okay? Now, different types of value add is you can flip properties as long as you add value to it. So an example, you could borrow the money, buy the property, put your renovation budget on the credit card itself. You spend some money on the down payment, you could put the renovation on the credit card itself, and then what you could do is you could sell the property. When you sell the property, let's say you put another 50K into the property, okay? And so now you're all in at 70K. And let's say you sell the property for 200,000. It's a 70K of equity. You sell the property for 200,000. You're gonna pay off your $70,000 of credit cards, and you're gonna make a profit of $50,000 over and above that, right? You were all in for 150,000 on the house. You sold it for 200,000. That was your proceeds. You made 50,000. You pay off your credit cards. You just did a no money down real estate deal. Now, I'm not a fan of flipping. You know, I mean, if we're looking at the title of this book, obviously skip the flip. I don't want you guys to be flipping. You can do this same thing, and when you add value, instead of selling it, you can go get a new loan. Instead of an $80,000 loan, you can go get an 80% loan. Let's say it's worth $200,000. You get a $160,000 loan. You can pay off this, and you can pay off your credit card, and then you have no money in this deal and you own the rental property. And that's the power of investing with no money down if you don't have any money, but it all starts at the deal, is you can acquire properties with credit cards. So there's a couple different ways to do this, right? You can find some real estate attorneys who will take the money to allow you to do that. You can pay for renovations. You can partner up with people. So let's say you brought a partner to this deal. You say, hey, I'm gonna bring the $50,000 for renovation costs. you're gonna bring the $20,000 in down payment. We'll split up the deal according to that ratio, and all my money, I'm gonna pay for all the renovation money. Well, guess what? You go to Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever you're buying your materials, and you put all of that money on the credit card itself. So you don't necessarily have to like draw the money off, get it in physical cash. You can put money into a project through actually buying materials and supplies for that. You can also pay contractors who accept credit cards, through their Stripe account, through the Square account. That's how you can pay for different things. Not all money in a real estate deal, not all forms of capital have to be brought to the closing table. Now there are some different things out there, like I've heard of plastic, some PLASTIQ, where you can literally pay them like a 2 or 3% fee. They'll swipe your credit card and send a check somewhere. And so you could send a check somewhere. You could change somebody who has cash. You could say, hey, I'll go out and buy whatever you need in exchange for cash, and we'll make that swap. There's a lot of different ways to get the money off the credit card. You want to do it in a low fee way, and you want to do it on a project that has the potential to add value. Because here's the thing, if you were to do this and you didn't have the ability to raise the value of this property, then you would be essentially incurring interest whenever that promotional period ran out, right? And another key component is because you put it on the business card, it's not going to hurt your personal credit. Okay, so again, 30% utilization, that's on your personal credit. As long as you don't miss any payments over here and you use a credit card that doesn't report to your personal credit will have no impact. And so again, if I wanted to front load $50,000 on a card for 2 months, well then that's only gonna cost me, call it a couple thousand bucks in interest, and that may make me $50,000 in profit, right? And so it's just give and take, but this is just a source of capital. I like to do deals with, I'll put money in on credit cards, but I like to raise capital. I like to raise money from investors because I have a track record in real estate. If I didn't have a track record, if I didn't have the ability to show people the good deals that I've done, and I needed a way to break into real estate, I would 100% use credit cards to try and build my track record. But all of this comes back to knowing that you have a great deal that you can add value to. If it's a deal you're like, I'm not sure about, don't do it. That's kind of like buying a TV, on your credit card that you can't pay off. Make sure you're buying a deal that you can raise the value enough of that you can get your money out. And so that's how you'd actually go through the process of no money down, buying a deal, but it has to be profitable. Thank you so much for watching. There are 4 ways that I can help you on your real estate journey if you enjoyed this content. Number 1, you can have a free copy of this book in PDF or audiobook. The link is in the description. It's a bestseller. Number 2, you can join my free Facebook group where we're constantly adding value in your life in the real estate world. Number 3, you can watch my free training, How to Acquire Your First Investment Property in the Next 90 Days. The link is in the description, absolutely free. Number 4, like this video, subscribe to the channel, help us grow this so we can get access to more influential people in the real estate world to come on this channel and share their knowledge with you. I hope you like this video. Check out some others on my page, and I'll see you soon.